Oh, no Rick to beat this week. Check it out.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah. Hello.
I can't see Richard.
Hello.
Yeah,
And I need to bring in our special guest host.
Hey.
Guest host.
Oh,
You
where'd it
muted,
go?
Paul. You just need to unmute yourself.
I thought it was Ringo's, mate. But
Unmute yourself, Paul.
Oh.
Hey.
He's there. He's done it. He's done it. He's done it.
I'm live.
Hey.
Hurrah. I'm scared.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, Paul.
We're all here. James, did you not attempt to beat John in?
I've tried many, many times. I'm pretty sure that John is just cheating out all the time. He brings himself in before the music ends. I'm 97%.
That's the key. You're looking for the last, and then you're in.
Yeah, you've got to go on the beat and bang.
That's a false start. If there was a proper judge system, you would be kicked out and back to the start again.
You've got to fight fire with fire, James.
I don't believe in that. If fighting fire with fire just makes more fire. I don't want more fire. I want less fire.
I think we just have James sat at the bottom during the credits.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Ideal Lamb Show, episode 137.
137, man.
Apologies tonight from Bradley, who has got himself involved in a sex ring.
Yeah, he is. He's been auctioned off to the highest bidder, but I have heard that his dad overheard the whole thing on the phone, and he's making his way there, and he's not having this shit. He said to them, he's gonna find them and kill them. So that's good news.
Yeah, I think bidding starts at 72 pence.
Yeah.
So
I really just got the idea of Brad's dad, who looks like Brad, but I really hope he's South African. Just going, right, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you.
Brad's dad.
Brad's dad.
Hi, Brad's dad.
You picture on the show for next week, Brad's dad.
Also, apologies from Rick from modmaker.co.uk. He's having a well-earned week off the show. Very busy chat.
Rick said no apologies. He said no apologies. Do not apologise for me. I'm not coming in this week. Except more Cockney. I'm not coming in this week.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, he did. Well, he's approached China to build him a very small horse. Following on from last week's show, everything else has been made now. He's got his click fet, switch fet, 510 It's so now. Oh, the only logical next step is just a small horse.
Yeah, small horse or M&Ms. So I'm thinking, just go for it.
On tonight's show, we've got Travava, we've got a Troll of the Week, we have not got a mod showcase for obvious reasons, and we've got a couple of Hall of Fame bits to tidy up. Paul's going to give us his golden ticket as a special guest, and we've got news from around the vaping world, guaranteed stuff, and just a sprinkle of squonking as well on the show.
That's good.
James,
Yes.
how's your week been? What do you have for lunch? What are you drinking? What are you vaping? And if you did have a horse, what would you call it?
Oh, horse name. Just write that down. Thanks very much. I will just say that although there is no Rick and no mod showcase tonight, Rick, as part of his "I'm not coming in," he did actually say also that, and I'm having a mod showcase at home. I've got pictures printed out and everything. So just we're all missing it. It's not just you at home missing.
I really like the idea of that. Does him go, Annie, watch this.
Look at this picture. Look at this picture here. Look at this next one. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Lovely.
Look at that. Natural wood. Look at it.
What people don't realise is...
And then 510 in the top. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely.
But what people don't realise is we see it on a Thursday. He does it every night. So it gets to about 11:15. And he goes, Annie, is it that time? and she starts whistling.
Oh, Rick, do I have to whistle that tune again? Whistle it, Annie. Whistle it.
Next door neighbour just pops their head round whistling.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Week's been good. I've had a good week. What have I done? I have to write down my week because I've got a terrible memory. What have I done this week? I finished watching The Staircase. I was watching The Staircase last week. I've finished watching that this week. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
You're a fan?
Fan of The Staircase? I'd take them over ladders. I need you.
Do you reckon do you think he did it?
Did he did it? I'm not sure. You know, that was a good ending. You didn't. I'm spoiling it.
I think the point that what we got to. No spoilers because that's not. Did he do it? It's not a spoiler. But when it got to the end, I said to my wife, I think actually it gets to the point where it doesn't matter, and I think it got to that point. It didn't. It wasn't. That wasn't the point.
So it's based on a true story, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you mean, did he do it?
We don't know. You or you're left. You don't know whether he did it.
But you get to find out the verdict.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You get to find the verdict out really early on, like episode 8 or whenever you find out the verdict.
The onus of guilt is on the prosecution, obviously. And did they do that? Did they do their job? That's actually the whole. That's really it.
I don't think they did. At the end of the day, I think it was shocking that he got I think the whole thing was shocking. It was good. I enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the Chinese splatter expert when he was talking about how it was like Chinese custom to be polite when he's writing his book and all that sort of stuff. I was laughing out loud for his head because it's.
I liked it. I liked it when they tested him. You know, when they tested him with the group.
Yes.
And there was all these people who were quite redneck-esque. And they're like, I don't understand what he's saying. He's sort of Asian or something. I don't understand. He said something, and then some guy just went, "He reminds me of my geography teacher."
It was good. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I watched the film this week with me brother. I don't know. I posted this on the group a few weeks ago. We're going through. It comes around once a week. We have a few beers. We watch a film, and this week we watched the Frighteners. Have you seen the Frighteners?
Frighteners, yeah. Yep.
This is from so we're going year by year. We started at 1970 or whatever it was, 1969, 1970. We're 1996. So the Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
It's thing, isn't it?
I remember the Frighteners.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson directed. It's EP by Robert Zemeckis, who is Back to the Future dude.
Goonies as well, isn't he? Goonies? Robert Zemeckis. Something to do. I think he was an executive producer on that or something. He's got
a massive. It's such a weird film. I don't know how that slipped under my neck because, like I said, it came out not long after all of them other great films.
You've really got me.
Pardon?
What was the first Peter Jackson film? The one where he's in it and he's like 4 of his mates set in New Zealand. I just remember sitting around my friend's house watching
Lord of the Rings.
he's the tubby one in Lord of the Rings.
One line. I was like, all I can remember is one line, which was, "I'm a Derek and Derek's don't run." That's all I remember.
So I watched that. So yes, that's such a weird film. It's like a wacky, zany kids comedy with real proper horror in it. It's a mental mix of the two. So I watched that this week. What else? I've had Simon Sawyer's round this afternoon. The lovely Mr. Sawyer spent the afternoon around. Yeah, we vaped a lot. By the time we left, I felt drunk. We hadn't been drinking, but I'd vaped that much. I was head rushing with and he's only on 3. I'm on 2 milligram, 2 or 3. He's on 3 milligram. We vaped that much that my head was spinning. That's how much we vaped. You could not see. I had all the windows open. I had the doors closed so it wouldn't set off the alarms. It was like a 80s disco club in here with the fog.
Awesome.
Good. Trying his new juice. He's trying a new cakey juice. Very good. He had the Basium with him, so I got to try the Basium, which is Dean's new squonker. It is tiny. I know. Rich, you said last week how small it was, and it is.
How's he got his hand on that then?
Mark sent him one. a little bit of a juicy thing going on, and juicy mod trade. Well, it wasn't really. It kind of was a trade at the end of the day. You know what Simon's like? He's a generous chap, but he'd sent Mark some juice, and Mark's a lovely fella as well, and he sent him a mod. And it is square though. It's very square.
I've had a go on myself.
It's square, but I'm seeing it's square. It's clean though. It's proper. The lines are lovely and clean. It is much smaller. The pictures do not do it justice. It is tiny. Considering it's 2 batteries, a skunk bottle, and
a board.
Considering they're all in there, it's minuscule. Nice.
Same width as the new Pico.
Yeah, it's tiny, and I got to try a strike for the first time. He's got a couple of strikes from Hellfire.
What do you reckon?
Cracking, absolutely cracking. Really, people say, "Oh, the airflow is so smooth." You know what? You know why? Because the airflow is so smooth. Great vape, absolutely great vape. I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna nick one at Vape. I'm gonna have a go on a few at Vape Fest, I reckon.
Yeah, really cushy. And I must admit, the styling, I wasn't sitting mad for, but size. Obviously, he's got the red. We got the red ones this week. Got the red caps and stuff this week, and it looked great in the colours. So that was Simon this afternoon. Brilliant, lovely to see you, Si, and happy belated birthday for a couple of days ago.
He's in chat. He did say it was a canny afternoon. So obviously canning goods as well, which is great. You know, living up north, no fridges, get our shit canned. Well done.
Sure. Yeah, so we did that. That was good. And what else? This afternoon, this morning I went to see new teacher in the boys' class. He changed over reception last year, and she is called Mrs. Barris. I was really hoping her initial would be M, so it'll be M Barris.
That's pretty good.
That would be good. That was it. So that's my week. It's been good. I've enjoyed it a lot. What am I drinking on? I am drinking on. I've just cracked open a Rick and Morty backer, and I've got that in my brand spanking new. Could be back to front. I'm not entirely sure. Back to front on my screen. Just add Nick Stein, which makes it extra delicious. And I'll have you know, John, it makes, which I had beforehand, makes Carlsberg's extra delicious. Extra.
You can have that quote.
Yeah. They're not probably the tastiest lager in the world. They are definitely the tastiest lager in the world. So I'm drinking that. That's nice. I am vaping on. I'm vaping on the Shadow with a Viper X and a whistle on top, and in there is still custard cream from Spectrum Vape. And I am also vaping on the Infinity Mods 356 with Viper V2 and a whistle on top of there. And in there is Tobacco Crunch from Concentrate, which I thought I could give up. I kind of dragged us back in. I bought a whole lot this week. And finally, in the Lucas, again with a Viper V2 and a whistle on top, I have got Simon Sawyer's Dr. Mon, which is bloody lovely. You know, Joe. Bloody lovely, isn't it?
Lovely.
And you know what? When you're vaping like custardy biscuity things, sometimes you need a change, and that's a good palate cleanse for that sort of juice.
Absolutely. I never have one on. I always got the three liquids on the go. Saves vapor's time. Don't need that. I really think it makes it. You know what it is? It makes my other juice better. That's how good it is. So that's what I'm vaping. That's what I'm drinking. That's how my week was. For my lunch, I had shawarma, but it wasn't a regular shawarma. It wasn't in a wrap. It was in a sandwich. They do a sandwich as well at the shawarma. We don't have shawarmas down here.
You don't have shawarma? They're phenomenal. We put 3 shawarmas, I think, in Sunderland, at least 3 now, and it was good. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. But like I say, it wasn't a wrap. They do like a bread. They made them on the premises. They're all fresh that day. Shawarma, just lovely. That wasn't paid for. No, seriously, that sounded sarcastic. That wasn't. Sorry about that. And if I had a horse, if it's a racehorse, I'd like to call it one of them really dodgy racehorse names, like, you know,
My knob or something.
Oh yeah, or Mrs. Trouser Bucket, or some, they've all got stupid,
No, I think it's your personal horse. That's what I think it is.
It's my personal horse. Ooh, George.
I quite like that.
George the horse. It's a nice, it's kind of friendly name, isn't it? Like friendly name, George.
Very, very friendly name, yeah.
Yeah,
George.
It's weird the shit that runs through your head when doing this show, because my brain just went back. My brain just like whispered in the other bit of my brain and went, "Call it humbug." That was the only thing that happened in my.
Well, my first thought was Glue Factory, but then I rejected that immediately. I was something much more friendly. It's my own personal horse. Is it a full size horse?
Yeah.
Or Ford Fiesta substitute. I could call it that.
1 horsepower.
FFS. That would be my horse.
Twin cylinder.
I want to stick with George. George the horse.
The fact you called your horse FFS, possibly. You've got a horse that everyone else is going to call, for fuck's sake.
By a Nose would be a good name for a racehorse.
It would be a good name.
By a Nose.
Yeah. Or Fell at the First.
Yeah. Fell at the First, by a Nose.
I think that's me done. Is that me done? I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. I see people are nodding. Move on quickly. Come on. How are we? We're 17 minutes past. We're doing good. John.
Yes.
I'm picking you because I've got a really good question. I think you'll enjoy a lot. How's your week been? It's good. I like it. The question was asked to me by my son a little bit earlier in the week, and I went, "Oh, I'll keep that, and I'll ask John that." Anyway, so how's your week been? What are you drinking? What are you vaping? What did you have for your lunch? What kind of weird thing did you have for your lunch today? I know you're at work. And what is past, present, or future? What is your most favorite robot?
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
Good.
I like it. Yeah, it's good. So I've had a good week. Thank you very much. We moved. That's why I wasn't on the show last week. I don't know why I did that. Like, that's me. And it's fantastic. I really like living in the country. Though this a new room, but it is stiflingly hot, and I can't open the window because otherwise my neighbour gets the Ideal Home show for free, and I don't want to give it away. I have a halogen lamp over my head, and it's just heating. And there's a hell of a solar panel, as a lot of people have pointed out.
They only get 25% of the Ideal Home show for free.
Yeah, free. It's only 25%. Yeah, I know. I don't want to give it to him.
John, you are more than 25% of the Ideal Home show.
25.2.
Easy.
Well, what do I have for lunch? This is so weird. Right, when I was in the Tesco's today trying to find lunch, I thought I could get something different because Richard keeps telling me off for buying crap. But that encourages me. I'm a terrible person. If someone tells me not to do something, it's going to do it more.
Do we get to have a guess now?
Go on.
Right, let's have a guess. I'm going to guess one of two fingers of a Twix. I think you chewed and then spat out a chew it. I think you smelt a Baby Bell but didn't buy it in the end. And then had 4 segments of a tangerine.
I would say that you maybe took the little pink and light blue bubbly ones out of a pack of licorice all sorts, put them betwixt a slice of bread, wholemeal possibly, and had that again with maybe 2 tangerines. But 1 tangerine, maybe you had 3 tangerines. Yeah. So you had the pink and blue bubbly ones out of licorice all sorts in a wholemeal bread sandwich, no butter, and then 3 tangerines.
Not that. It wasn't that interesting.
How about a sandwich with pickled onion crisps and a packet of Maltesers? Sorry, a packet of M&Ms, but you only ate the yellow ones.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I like it.
But you don't eat crisps, so do.
No, I don't eat crisps. But so I could have just had the yellow M&Ms. No, It was just sad. It was just sad. Honestly,
Did you have a dry pot noodle and you just literally just crunched the?
pretty close. Well,
Yeah.
pot noodles are 50p each at the moment, so such a skinflint that I just bought 2 chicken and mushroom pot noodles and had them. But I did have 2 tangerine.
Did you cook them at the same time?
Yeah.
Also, it was planned. It was planned. Did you put them in a bowl so you had like one big bowl of pot noodle, or did you just have
No,
2?
because you wouldn't have had to guess the water. I wouldn't be able to guess the water.
So you had one pot noodle slightly too hot and one pot noodle slightly too cold.
Basically, yeah. I was like Goldilocks of pot noodles.
Yeah.
But it really influenced me. Being in the shop today, I thought, behave. Get something. I know, go to the sandwich shop, get like some Cajun chicken, bit of mayo, maybe a bit of bacon on there. And then I just thought, pot noodles are 50p. That'll annoy Richard. I'm going to eat 2 pot noodles. So he fucked up my own lunch just because I thought, that's funny. I'm having 2, but I couldn't lie. So I still had to have that.
You should have put 2 packets of soy in one tub and none in the other.
That's not even soy sauce, is it? It's just brown water.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I always had my own. I always had loads of soy sauce.
Yeah. Everyone's got. You just want dark. That's all you want. Dark soy. Get it in. You want to stand a spoon up in it. Yeah. Moved house. What am I vaping on? That's the game, isn't it? Yeah. What am I vaping on? I've got Cactus Punch 45mg in the black Savor. So delicious 45mg. I have got Onyx by Black Box. It's only 12mg in the Silver Saver in direct to lung mode. And last but by no means least, I have the Dead Rabbit on top of the Dacus. Mike has kindly said he's going to pick this up off me and do the brand new clicky switch fat conversion to this, and he's going to make it dinkier. Yes, Dead Rabbit. And in the Dead Rabbit is the new liquid that we've got on. I think it's going on tonight. Could already be on. Don't know. Haven't checked. But it is On Point e-liquid. The On Point, the little bakery star behind there was designed by Mr. Blythe himself, and this is honey and cinnamon Danish. It's very nice. I got that in the Dead Rabbit. Cool. I need this one question. The question was your favorite robot of all time, basically.
Yeah, TV show, film, or real robot. You know, that Honda one or whatever you like.
Johnny 5.
Johnny 5. I was just about to say Johnny 5. He was.
Oh no! You see, no, he's gone. I can knock it, but then see that would have been Paul. That would have been my #1 robot.
That's what I expected, I must admit.
Until 6 months ago. As soon as I found out that guy was blacked up doing an Indian, as a Sri Lankan called it, it was doing a bud ding ding voice and was painted brown. I can't put that robot in. By association, the robot's gone. That's just no, can't happen. So favorite robot. Now I'm gonna say, I don't know if you ever watched it back in the day, but when I was a bit of a sad shit, I've still a sad shit. In 1999, I used to watch Robot Wars.
All right. I remember Robot Wars.
So kill a lot.
No, I was going to go with one of the competitors' robots. I would say Chaos, because Chaos is from Ipswich, and the guy who had Chaos, I'm so sorry. Well, no, there's something very distinct about the guy who owned Chaos. He had a really, really high voice, and I've met him, and his voice is crazy. So whenever he won, Craig Charles would be like, "Is he Liverpudlian?" Yeah. So he'd be like, "All right, so you won. How was it on that then?" No, he's not, is he? I don't know. Maybe he's Brum. And he'd go, "Yeah, really happy." Oh, okay, but he would. He had this incredible voice. But I'm going to say Stealth from Robot Wars in about 1997, 98.
What was his special weapon?
I can't remember what Stealth was now. Was it
So your favourite robot in the world ever
Oh, all right, yeah. You
Robot who's
busted me. I'm gonna have to throw it in the bin, aren't I? Okay. Let's check
What
that
about
away.
R2D2 or C3PO?
I don't like Star Wars.
No, neither do I, but they are robots.
They
I'm
are
the right
wrong.
age to like Star Wars, and I just don't give a shit about it. Okay, that's good.
And surely there's much better robots and Robot Wars than that. What about when Hypnodisc came in season or whatever?
Hypnodisc,
Fail because it
Ledge.
doesn't win.
What was that one that was just a big, great block of cheese?
Big Cheese?
Just what's it called? Big cheese.
It's called Big Cheese. That dude, that Peter dude who had him, he was like some sort of build it in your shed kind of genius, that fella there. He came back with loads and loads of robots. I adored that show. I mean, I love Craig Charles, but I love that show.
Actually, somebody said Data from Star Wars, but I don't know. Star Trek. But that's a cyborg, because you can't have Terminator either. It's a cyborg.
No, what? It's a robot.
Optimus Prime, he was a pretty good robot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, done. I'll have that. That'll work. Optimus Prime.
Gas. And then they had the dinosaur one as well at the last movie.
Yeah, no, everybody. If you were a Transformers fan when you were a kid, the one you wanted was Optimus Prime, and there was many versions of Optimus Prime as well.
What was the bad guy's name?
Megatron.
Megatron. That's it.
There's two baddies.
Megatron was the
baddest,
one, wasn't he? He was like the Achilles. Achilles, let me say that.
Okay. Robots in disguise. And that's what somebody's just put.
I really liked the sound when they transformed. They did that. So
that was pretty good.
That was brilliant. I love that. Awesome.
I've got to give the chat to he's called himself this Divlol or Divloy. He just put Stephen Hawkins, best robot. He said it. That's funny. I'm going to go to you, Paul. Oh, I just realised my mic's facing the floor. Oh, there we go. Paul, how's your week been? What did you have for lunch? What are you vaping on? Oh, sorry, I'm drinking Proper Job Cornish IPA, by the way. It's really nice. Sorry, so where were we? How's your week been? What did you have for lunch? What are you vaping on? I'm going to probably throw you a slow ball on this one. Oh, no, I do the one I asked my wife this week, and it's fucking awesome. It may fail, but I'm going to go with it. Okay? You have to. Are you married, Paul? Have you got a girlfriend?
No.
No. That's fine.
Neither.
That it still works. The question still works. Don't worry. I was just going to make it a shitload worse. So you can choose any holiday destination you want to go in the world. There are caveats. It is 2 weeks long. You will be sharing the property you're staying in with your parents, definitely, and you must eat every meal with them. Where are you going?
Oh, Jesus. Right, I'll come back to that. So my week's been not bad. It started off quite grim. I don't know if you saw my Facebook, but my cat went missing on Sunday. So he was missing for 2 days, and I pulled my head out, but I ended up finding him. He was down the street in a cellar. So I can only assume someone was cutting their grass or something like that on the Sunday, and he's ran into their basement part, and then they've locked the door and bolted. So I found them screaming. So the owner of the property wasn't in, so I did what anyone would do and took a hammer to his shed and got him out. So I have been down and offered to pay for it, but I got him out. So that was a relief.
Wicked.
Started to think the worst after 2 days, so I was pulling my head out. So that was a total drama. After that,
I don't see mine for weeks.
Oh, I don't know how you can do it. Oh, see when they don't come back, I'm freaking out.
I don't know where it goes, but yeah, we just pass in the corridor. We're just like, all right, yeah, all right.
Oh God, no, I couldn't cope with that. But it's been like a heat wave here in Glasgow, so it's been basically you're doing as little movement as possible. So the rest of the week, basically work. I tried to do a couple of reviews yesterday, but with the lights and the heat, I was just sweating. It was like, this is not working. So I gave up. So the week's been a bit hit and miss. What am I drinking? I'm drinking this India Pale Ale.
Good man.
Shepherd
Not
something.
there.
It's not bad. It's not great, but I saw it. I picked it up. I've got a bit of Scottish malt going on here.
Yeah, you like whiskey, don't you?
Yeah, I like a wee whiskey to help me sleep, you know. So I've got a wee dram of that. Vaping on, I've got the Homeboy with is it the Karma, the KRMA, is that Karma? Not sure.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a big strip tip on that. Inside this, I've got some Just Jam, not bad. I've got the Lost Vape Drone with the Asmodus C4, which I love. Such a great RDA, so cheap.
They've just re-released that, haven't they?
Have they?
The drone.
Oh, the drone, yeah. Well, I think it was a couple of months ago they re-released it. I don't know if they'll bring that out again, but yeah, I mean, it's really an excellent mod. I've got my SVB with my Entheon. I've got the Hadian. Is it the Hadian cap on there? Another big strip tip. And just to tickle Richard's bollocks, I've got my Saver in silver set up in mouth to lung mode. So that's what I'm vaping. I've also got this. Richard, have you got this? The Vaporesso.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yours is silver. Yours is cool. Does yours fire like mad when you just tap the button?
Sometimes, yeah. When it's when you're turning it off, it does it. It fires as it turns itself off.
So I've vaped on that. Any holiday, 2 weeks sharing with my parents. I have to eat meals with them. Oh my goodness.
I will just say my wife's answer was, "Fuck it, I'm staying at home." When I added the meals, she went, too far. I'm staying at home. You can stay, go anywhere in the world.
It'd need to be worth it to go.
Yeah, your budget is whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking. It would have to literally be a dream holiday to put up with that. So I'm thinking some Caribbean island.
I'm really glad you had this similar answer, because it'd been shit if you went, I get with my almost like my best friends. I don't care where we go.
It'd need to be really worth it. Somewhere like Hawaii, maybe Hawaii would be pretty cool. Somewhere like a dream holiday. So it's worth putting up with the crap that you would get from parents. And it would be really, really small dinners, I think I'd be having. But yeah, that's roughly where I would go. Caribbean, definitely.
Wicked.
So my turn then. So Richard, what are you drinking? What are you vaping? How was your week? And if you had to be, I don't know, let's see, if you had to fight Mike Tyson in the boxing ring, who would you have train you? Alive or dead? Alive or dead?
All right.
I'd pick an alive person, just the tip, to pick who you want.
It wouldn't matter who I had. I'd take him to school. Wouldn't get anywhere near me. Okay, so right. Drinking Stella Artois. I don't know if you've seen this. Quite wet. It's very wet. And week's been fine. No major developments really this week. Lunch I had a chicken salad. No egg.
No egg.
That's a salad.
I ran out of eggs.
Well, I had a chicken salad sandwich for lunch. I forgot to answer that.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
What sort of bread?
It was a Tesco meal deal thing I got. So a packet of Quavers, Ribena Light, and a chicken salad sandwich. It was the healthy choices one.
So it was a pre-made chicken salad sandwich. Can I ask you, Paul, was the egg in that salad sandwich?
Say yes, Paul.
Well, yes, there wasn't, but and I said, chicken
I
salad
really like the fact it was the healthy choice, but I think the Quavers negate the word healthy.
Oh yeah.
You've got such bad vibe on crisps. John.
They're really bad for you. They're really, really.
No,
bad.
they're not.
They're terrible.
Quavers had to do that.
It's relative, isn't it? It's relative.
No, it's not. It's bollocks. You have to get age checked for an energy drink now. But there's all these kids buying like eating multi-packs of crisps. Fuck
There's
it.
more salt in a slice of bread than there is in a packet of crisps.
So it's such a load of shit.
It's true. Gary
It's
Lineker said so.
It's definitely not true.
It's true.
No.
It probably is true. It probably.
Keep talking. I'm
It
Googling.
might not be. Go on, you Google.
I don't think Gary Lineker would have said it.
He may have never been booked in his life, but this is total shit.
You know why? Never been booked?
The advertising standards would have done him.
No. Because he probably carry on.
He didn't mean best of both. So anyway, chicken salad was actually very good. Actually, I enjoyed it. What was that boxing thing? Oh, I would definitely have Adam Booth as my trainer against Mike Tyson. Although actually Virgil Hunter might be quite good. Good for the end of the game.
Why didn't you get Mike Tyson as your trainer?
I was thinking Muhammad Ali or something like that myself.
No, it really wouldn't matter because it would. Styles make fights, and I'm all wrong for Mike Tyson. Don't know if you've seen the Evander Holyfield fight. Then
hold on. We're in. Slice of white bread, 0.17 grams of salt. Grab bag of Quavers, 0.73 grams of salt.
Yeah, but a grab bag.
He didn't.
Grab bag. You can't say grab bag.
Grab bag.
If you're going to do grab bag, what's a loaf of bread?
Bollocks, that's not the
grab
same
bag.
thing.
You said grab bag's big bag. Big bag.
Carry on. We'll do carry on.
Big bag.
I'm not. Why is a grab bag called a grab bag?
You just grab it.
Grab it.
You can grab any bag.
No, you can't. The other ones are too small. You try and grab them.
They're not in them picking up machines in fairs.
It's only in England that we have 25-gram bags because we can't be trusted with 100 grams. We can't just fold over the packet and put them to one side.
That is true. I mean, I know they say once you pop, you can't stop with the old Pringles, but that's just true with any large bag of crisps. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. In a 32.5 gram bag of Walker's cheese and onion, we're going to go with, there is 0.4 grams of salt. So
that's hardly
a slice of bread, there is 0.17. So you're going to have two slices of bread.
So there's double the amount of salt
in a pack of crisps.
A 31-gram bag of crisps than there is in a 50-gram bag of crisps.
Right, because I changed it because I was trying to help Gary.
Right. Yeah, that's good of you.
I was trying to help him, being a lying bastard.
That's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. We don't have all the details of the survey that Walker's did.
You do. I reckon it was those like go-ahead crisps that nobody wants to do, but you can use them to tile with.
Yes. What were we talking about? Vaping. Vaping on. I got another goon. I'm now officially collecting goons, just in case, because they're getting thinner on the ground now. I've seen the iceberg, and I need all the goons for when they're no longer available. Yeah, I've got two. I've got two 22mm ones and a big one, so I need more goons. So the goon on the phobic, ideal show phobic. In there I have Nemesis from Darkstar. I've got this, the Mesh Pro from Freemax in the Goldfish Bowl.
Does yours say not for sale all over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the purple one, and it's not. It wrote not for sale even on the coils. It's like everywhere.
It's better safe than sorry.
Even if I really liked it, I'd be wanting to sell that. I really would. Or if somebody was selling it, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm having the not for sale one." Yeah, definitely. I don't even fancy it, but
I've scratched off the knot. So that's a good tank. I'm actually putting the review up for that tomorrow. It's actually a pretty good tank. I've got Vape Tasia Lemon Custard in there. That's on the Proton. I still think this is a great mod. Very good mod. And then, as I was telling you guys before, on my beautiful Curve S from Darwin Mods, I have the Crichton that James mentioned last week.
Gorgeous mod.
It's a beautiful mod, and I literally bought this as James told us about the sale at Cheeky Vape last week. I bought it. I bought it while he was talking.
Click. Yeah.
And the next day they was sold out, actually.
That drip tip is a brilliant match there as well, mind. I love it looks it anyway.
Yeah, I pinched this drip tip off the Nudge. The 24 mil Nudge or whatever it was. The Crichton, I think it's very, very cloudy RDA. But it squonks very well. It's easy to build and very solid RDA, but absolute bargain at 20 quid. And yeah, it's a nice match, and I'm very happy with that. And I've got Nata from justadnick.co.uk in there. Right, John, have you got any news?
I have. Hold on 1 second. I need to put a battery in the charger.
I didn't see any pictures.
I haven't got actually pictures. Oh,
good,
God.
That's fine.
Hold on. Right, he's back.
You'll do for me.
Okie doke. Let's go. I've scrolled too far. They're not here. Sorry. Okay. First up in the news is I'm just going to do some Just Add Nick news. Today, as I said earlier, we've got 4 new lines being added today. They're all the way from American land. But I have to be totally honest with you and say we can't use the name. So we've made up our own name instead. So we've called them On Point E-Liquid. We did not make them. They are a concentrate from an American company. There are 4 flavors. There is a blueberry pie, an apple tart, honey cinnamon Danish, and a strawberry sponge. And they're going on today. Yeah, they're pretty fantastic actually. I'm really chuffed. As I said earlier, I'm on the honey and cinnamon Danish. Are you
allowed to say what the deal is with the name thing, or are you just leaving that hanging out there?
I can't say it, but try them and see if you know what I mean.
But why can't you call them that? Can you tell us why you can't?
I can't tell you why we can't call them that, but I can't say we can't call them that.
Okay, right. Oh, mysterious. But they are very famous, aren't they? Can I say that? I've just said that.
Yeah, you can say they're very famous. Yeah. So anybody wants to buy them, guess what the flavour is.
Guess the flavour week at Just Add Nick.
Oh, what a game! Oh, they're all 4 and like, well, what can they be? What can they be?
If you get it, you'll go. If you've had it before, I mean, you'll go, fuck it, I know what that is. But we're not allowed to do that. But I am allowed to insinuate that we're not allowed to do that because we're not allowed to do that. So that's fine. We've got them on limited, so what we've got is what we've got is what we'll always have. We'll never have any more. It's not that's not there's no legal thing with that. It's just we bought a significant amount of liquid, but it is once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, I'm allowed to say that. I'll probably get in trouble in a minute. I'll just watch my phone and see if my boss says you're not allowed to say that. Right, that's that. The cinnamon Danish tastes just like the cinnamon Danish pastry, which is good, and I only mixed it today. But first up, the news in bullshit. This is from the ACSH website. I don't know what the fuck they're called either, but I quite like the news in bullshit. Found this article. It was actually it was out on the 22nd of June, but I wasn't here, so it counts. This was last Friday, which is after the show. James is gone. I hope I'm still on the camera. It's just me and you, Paul. There's no other fucker here.
So something I said?
I don't know. Must have been. I didn't fart. Must have been someone. You can't. Why did they both do that at the same time? What we're going to go with?
You do it.
Is an article. I don't mind if no one's listening. I just carry on anyway. As my wife said, don't need an audience. The smoke and mirrors of vaping. This is the name of the article. Vaping continues to be a controversial topic, pitting harm reduction against harm elimination, two goals that seem incompatible. But in writing about the effect of tobacco flavour on our blood cells, I discovered that vaping as practice is not necessarily vaping as discussed. There was a fantastic. Here we go. This is the great bit. Nicotine is an addictive substance, and we do not know its long-term effects. We do. When tobacco is not the delivery agent. We do. So vaping nicotine may be a source of harm if you were previously not vaping at all. But the media reports of flavours as the use gateway to tobacco ignores how it's actually used by itself. And there is no information that vaping flavour alone was the gateway to anywhere besides trying to look cool. And it's about people who own this article basically is about people who only vape flavours. But I think what they mean is zero nicotine. I don't imagine anyone is vaping concentrate. As a man who has to taste concentrates a lot, nobody would vape that. You couldn't. It would be terrible. So that is that fantastic article. But I quite like there was this was my next article, and this one's from the Metro. That was from an American shit, and no one is asked about that. Got it. The Metro from the 27th of June. Prisoners desperate for nicotine are now vaping in UK jails as sales top 65,000 a week. Vaping has become wildly popular in UK prisons, with 65,000 refill and e-cigarette sales in jails every week. The Ministry of Justice allows vaping in cells after last year's smoking ban sparked riots in several prisons, and now 33,000 prisoners are getting their nicotine fix through e-cigarettes. I can't see how this is a bad thing. I don't understand what this article is for. So there's no smoking, so none of the staff are now passive smoking at work. Obviously, less chance of fires, less chance of the prisoners actually dying of cancer. I don't think it's a civil liberty because you want nicotine, but you can't smoke, and I think that's fine. I think that's really good news that there are 65,000 sales a week in the UK prisons. Prison's about rehabilitation. It's not. You can't lock people in rooms and then release them into the wild and hope it went well. It's not a very good idea. Prisoners.
I think it's. Are they being a bit naughty? Are they trying to just create a negative association?
I think they are. Well, on the Metro, it's not a negative article. I will say that. It literally says the facts, but it doesn't try to. There's no tilt on it, I wouldn't say. I'll give you another couple of paragraphs. A prison service spokesman told Metro UK, all closed prisons in England and Wales are now smoke-free, reducing the risk of second-hand smoke to prisoners and staff. Prisoners have been given support in quitting smoking if they need it, including vapes. They put vapes, e-cigarettes. I don't know what the fuck that means. Vapes, e-cigarettes, and nicotine replacement therapy. After the smoking ban, there were instances of prisoners cutting up nicotine patches and smoking them. Bible pages, tea leaves, and banana skins as well, and a widespread disturbance by lags craving a burn. I apologise. I thought it was like
well done. Yes.
Not mutually exclusive, those things.
No. But I think it's good news, but it isn't. There's no slant on this news. There is really not.
I really like the idea that because allegedly snout is kind of like the currency in prison, that it's been replaced by e-liquid possibly, and that people are like, I've got 100 million Boba's Bounty at 80 milligram. I love the idea that possibly that's the new currency in.
Is that your generic criminal voice?
This sounds a bit like Rick, doesn't it?
Sounds a lot like Rick, yeah.
Sorry, all.
He oddly mentions spice, the Class B drug, in the same article, which I don't really understand. It says here, spice is readily available in UK prisons. I don't think it's readily available.
What, Ptarmigan?
Got this paprika for you, here. Want some paprika? Have a lot of this.
Yeah. They put Class B drug. The Class B drug spice, this is the same article, has caused havoc in prisons. The odourless synthetic was traditionally smoked with tobacco, but last week it emerged inmates had found a new way to get their fix. They don't tell me what it is. But you do think, aren't all drugs odourless? I've never tried, I don't know what cocaine smells like. I've seen people try to find out, but it keeps going up their nose. It's difficult to work out what it smells like. Smell that.
Well, cannabis has a certain aroma.
Oh yeah, it does, but I don't know that E does. I don't. I mean, that's just information you don't need. I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah, that's that bit of excitement. But I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was good news. Quite like the idea of prisoners smoking.
Ian Schwarr says 4.5 mil is $6.99 in prison.
Whoa!
Wow.
Are they interested, Ian? So you didn't get just a nick in there. We're happy
Should lock them up.
Deal. I can do you some good deals. That is rubbish prices. I'm going to go with a rumor mill thing now. I don't know anything. I don't know the ins and outs of this, but I've seen it pop up on Facebook group after Facebook group. I'm only a member of about 3, but I have seen it pop up. The rumor mill has it, but I haven't seen it anywhere else, that PayPal are cracking down on vendors that are selling CBD because it is against their terms and conditions. And if you are caught selling CBD on your site and using PayPal as your merchant, they're also cracking down on your nick sales. As I say, because it's the rumor mill. So, anybody else heard anything?
Yeah. I saw a few threads stating this sort of thing, and people with sort of testimonial evidence that they'd had issues with PayPal. But like you see, it was something. I think it started off with somebody asked a question about I'm selling nicotine-based juices that have been kiboshed by PayPal, and then somebody then went on to say it's he also sells CBD, blah blah blah. How true it is, I don't know, but like I say, it was all just testimony.
It's certainly not against their terms and conditions to sell nicotine. That is not true.
No, but I think there's an issue with CBD in general, because in America it's officially a regulated substance.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the terms and conditions of all those American companies, YouTube as well, it's at their discretion. All regulated substance sales and promotion of is under, it's down to how they feel. And PayPal has always been a company that works kind of at random with its policing.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
I think CBD's getting a lot of publicity right now as well. It's on every paper, and there's videos on Facebook, and I know YouTube are cracking down on it. Sure, there was that big, massive cull that they done with the CBD liquid.
Yeah,
a lot of channels get hammered for it,
Yeah, but interestingly, they did a big cull of CBD channels and cannabis channels, but a lot of those cannabis channels have been reinstated. So they're such big companies. They've got such a massive user base. Just a slight air of randomness to it. I don't know if there's an official stance.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a worthwhile discussion. Stuart Legg said in chat, I've got to agree that, and I think a lot of vapors agree as well. I think that there does need to be a parting of the ways when it comes to CBD and vape and nicotine vaping. Then need to split away from each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it might force itself to, because I personally won't promote any site or shop that sells both CBD and nicotine, and that's not because of my personal feelings on it, but it's because of the regulations of various social media platforms. So if that becomes the common belief amongst people on all these social media platforms, then they may be, companies may split their brand.
Yeah,
which I think could be very healthy.
Well, I don't care. Fuck me, I've had 2 weeks off. Right, that a week off, I'd be a twat. Right. I think there does need to be a complete move away from this, and I think people get really confused with CBD. I think people are getting confused in CBD, cannabis oil, which is what was used for the severely epileptic child last week. The sort of controversial news last week. Then they're not. Licture is not the same thing at all. And the side and the medical benefits of cannabis are, people say they're played down. They are vastly over exaggerated. Vastly. It's another one of those things that fails time and time again in placebo double-blind controlled testing, which is either it has conscious thought or it doesn't work. CBD it doesn't work in the many things that people claim it does. It just I'm incredibly dubious of the whole thing, and I do think it needs to move away. I think you need to move pseudoscience away from I'm not talking about people who just want to smoke weed and get high. Knock yourself out, I don't give a shit. But I do think we need to move them away, because we've currently got a drug that works. So we know it. You can stop smoking and start vaping. That's a massive thing. I don't think we need to associate ourselves with CBD.
Do you get messages from subscribers asking about CBD, Paul?
No, not really. I get more companies emailing me asking. Subscribers asking about.
Go on, Paul. John does this every week.
So yeah, I get more companies will ask me to do in those herb vaporizer things, all that kind of stuff. But I just ignore it. But no, not so much from subscribers. Not a lot of people ask me about it. They don't see it on my channel, so I'm assuming that's why they don't ask about it. But I do get asked a lot to review these the vaporizer herb things, but I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah, I don't. I do get questions about it, and I always say the exact same thing, which is I genuinely don't get it. I mean, you can get it CBD from Holland and Barrett and put a bit on your tongue, can't you, or something like that? Yeah, and that's that one way of taking it. I don't know why you have to mix it in with your vaping. Like it's a bit like when they came out with caffeine e-juice. It's like, well, I've got a way of getting caffeine and I've got a way of getting nicotine.
I remember that.
I'm not in such a rush.
It doesn't work. But not only that, it's the caffeine thing. Anyone, if you've got a GCSE level of science, you could very easily read the testing, and the inhalation of caffeine is so inefficient. It's completely pointless.
Yeah, but again, but I guess my point is, they don't need mixing together. You know, I don't need a dishwasher that also washes my socks. I've got one thing for that. I've got one thing for that. I don't get. I just But so I always my thing is always say I don't know anything about it. I'm really sorry, but I don't know. It seems more logical to me to go to Holland and Barrett, get some CBD, do that if you want to do that, and carry on vaping and enjoying your vape.
I think the comparison is easily drawn, because traditionally the imbibing of nicotine and the imbibing of CBD and THC have both been through smoking. So I think that's the reason why the two are now synonymous with vape. I've now gone down the vaping path, should I say, because previously they were smoked and people want to reduce combustion, reduce reduce harm reduction, that sort of thing, get rid of all of the nasty bits and bobs. So I'm totally, I totally see why vaping and CBD are going hand in hand. I totally get that. However, I do totally agree that the two things should be separate. And you never bought a packet of cigarettes from a head shop where you would buy, paraphernalia or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fella who might have sold you some weed might have also had some off tabs. I mean, that might have been a thing, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is that the similarity is because of the way that they were previously ingested, and I can totally see why people go. Plus, it is dead trendy. It's a fragile market. It's a fragile market. It's people are kind of going mad for it at the minute. I think it's almost a wonder drug. It helps you with pain, it helps you with sleeping, and I think it's still early days with CBD. But I would like to see it separated.
I know we're kind of going down a track here, but I don't. I don't know. There are people who are getting
upset in chat.
But that's fine. That's what a debate's. That's what it's for. That's okay.
But we don't. Darren said we're talking nonsense in chat, and Hugh said CBD has no THC and therefore not illegal. What's the problem? We have no issue with anyone using CBD, vaping CBD, or anything like that. Anything like that at all. No issue at all. My point was when I get asked, when I get sent messages, I genuinely don't know enough about it, and I always just tell them I don't get it. Sorry. But the other issue, the thing, we're not against people doing it that want to do it. The two issues we've got are the unproven medical fascination that the media has with it at the moment.
Absolutely,
and I'm sensationalizing the effects of it.
Things. They certainly are. It is definitely. I'm not going to argue that it certainly works in a very specific form of epilepsy. That's been proven many times. I know there was the big case last week, and that's definitely true. We definitely know that cannabis oil does seem to have an incredible effect on a very specific form of epilepsy. Whether it's long term is what you're going to find out.
You know the lady that was campaigning on behalf of her child. Do you know what her job is?
No.
People can Google that.
Okay. Yeah. I find it. People have recently. This is my medical problem with it, with CBD specifically. I'm not talking about if you want to get high, get high. I literally don't care. The medical claims have got stupid because people have this idea that they claim that big pharma is doing this and big pharma is doing that and big pharma is doing this. Go, please read the double-blind placebo-controlled testing, because it's not done by big pharma. It's done by scientists, and science changes its view depending on the results. Have a look at the results. I'm not even going to say it's good or bad or whatever. Go and have a look.
I don't care about it would appear that with
the point is we need to stop mixing them with vaping.
Yeah, and that's the second point. So there's the sensationalizing of its medical abilities, and also the connection between vaping and CBD, because vaping is a harm reduction alternative for smoking. CBDs for completely different purposes,
Yeah, but like I said, it's because the traditional way to do it,
the historical thing,
has been through smoking it. And if you are going to smoke, if you are going to take, if you're going to get high, basically, then I think we should be encouraging people to vape it whichever method. And I don't want to advocate that, because that's not what we're here to do. But in the same way, I don't want to.
Fine. It's your view. That's no problem.
But I think that that vaping CBD or THC, if that's what you want to do, is definitely going to be better for you than smoking it. And people who smoke it along with tobacco in joints or whatever, then definitely that's a good switch to make. If you're going to do it that way, then buy a volcano or whatever and vaporize it. So I think we should advocate that to a certain degree. But it's illegal. But CBD isn't illegal, and I think it's too early to tell. And
I get what you mean.
There's not some anecdotal evidence that people have pain relief from it, and whether that is actually going to be proven at any point down the line by scientists, by medical studies. It doesn't matter if people are getting it's not illegal and people are getting benefit from it. Then I say crap on with that. However, I do agree that, like you say, the likes of Vape Jam, where 30% of your stalls are pushing, or not pushing, that's the wrong word, are promoting CBD-based e-liquids. It's not an e-liquid, it's CBD. With two things are separate. We're doing it
with pamphlets with ridiculous claims on, which I saw one the other week that claims it kills cancer cells, which is absolutely true. So does beer. This is on a microscope slide, but so does beer, so does lemon juice. Piss probably does it. So does Dettol. Does it work in the human body? No.
We've kind of proved the original point here in a way, because there's all kinds of things being said in chat. Like Stuart Drummond says CBD needs a touch of THC to work. We're saying we don't really know it, we don't really understand it well enough and all that sort of stuff. I guess we've proved a point that James made at the start, that it's still early days and we're all scratching around, really. So a lot of anecdotal evidence floating around.
I've got to say, it's certainly, in medical terms, it's certainly not early days. It's been tested, double-blind tested for well over 2 decades. It is most of it is utter balls. It certainly doesn't work. If you go over to the Cancer Research website and you check, I'm saying this quite passionately because I've had friends of ours and members of our group on Facebook who members of their family have been sadly affected by cancer, and what can only be explained as utter twats have PM'd them saying, have you tried cannabis? And those are fucking twats.
However, though, John, I'm going to just jump in there because what's the likelihood of it curing cancer? It's highly likely. However, if it relieves like the side effects of things like chemotherapy, then people should be kind of encouraged. I don't know.
That's fine. Yes, it's really difficult, James, but my question is that I've got to be a knob because this is the situation that's happened at least 8 times that I know of. Would you ever message a stranger with that information?
Of course not. I'm not going to advocate it as a cure for cancer. I would never ever. However, I do think that sometimes,
I was trying to kick off a debate. It works.
Sometimes hope is a big thing as well. You know, I don't know.
That's fine, but that's okay. That's an all right thing to say. I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that at all.
I think I'm fairly sure in the way I feel about this, that if it alleviates symptoms of other treatments, then you should absolutely crack on. But then again, the placebo effect, or like I say, just the full hope, I think or belief or whatever it is, I think that can be a big thing as well. And if that helps you with that, then you should crack on with that as well, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I totally went. Let's talk about bums or something. I'm so sorry.
Is that you done, John?
Yeah, I finished.
James,
that's just me throwing a petrol bomb over my shoulder. See ya.
what you got for us, James?
Oh, okay. I've got a couple of things. I've got a little bit of serious-ish type news, like John type news, where I'm going to actually, I've never done this before. I'm going to kind of read stuff the way John reads stuff. You know, John goes, I've got some news. I'm going to read some stuff. Let me tell you about this. So Dr. Fossilinos has had a report published in a very...
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Konstantinos Fossilinos. He's always been pretty pro-vaping, and he has quite recently, along with the Anasys Cardial Surgery Centre, he's done a... and I know you're not going to like this, John. He's done a test of the IQOS. Is that what it's called?
The heat not burn thing.
Yeah, he didn't want to call it that. He didn't want to call it that.
No, because it burns the filter. So
because there is some burn in there. So it's basically smoking versus the IQOS versus vape, and he put vape in there. You know, he's a big vaping advocate. So I don't actually really focus on the IQOS bit. However, I will say this: if you are going to go down the IQOS route, it was proven by a study that the IQOS is about 80 or 90% less carbon emissions.
That was a study. That was a study done by Philip Morris.
No. Philip Morris. Obviously, Philip Morris made the IQOS. It was Dr. Fossilinos. Granted, it's
fine.
Granted, it's in conjunction with the Anasys Cardial Surgery Centre. Nothing to do with it. Not as far as I'm aware. I mean, don't get us wrong. I've been on the IQOS site this evening, and it is plastered with this stuff. Absolutely plastered with this stuff. So it is more. So the IQOS is definitely safer than smoking, for instance. It's around about 80 or 90% safer with regards to aldehydes, the formaldehydes, kind of carcinogens. Yeah. However, e-cigs are about 99% safer than smoking.
It's kind of that thing of 95% is this quote that's been banged around for ages about vaping, but it wasn't said. It's not true. They said, cancer research said, at its worst, it's 95%.
They said at least, absolutely. They said at least 95%. So smoking, bad. IQOS, about 90% better, 80, 90% better. Vaping, around about 90% better than the IQOS, so a massive reduction. And so that's the IQOS bit. Like I said, I don't want to focus on that too much. However, he did then go on to talk about sub-ohming a little bit, and that was what kind of caught my attention. And we touched on this a little bit last week or the week before. No, sorry, it must have been the week before, John, because you weren't here last week. We're talking about just opening your nick and vape, and basically so you vape less, essentially. Yes. So that was. I mean, I've got some quotes from Dr. Fossilinos. I think that my results and the recent review of the literature is overwhelmingly showing that there is no real issue with formaldehyde or other aldehyde emissions from the new generation of e-cigs. And he's comparing when he says the new generation of e-cigs, what he means is cotton-based.
Not burning them.
Basically, he's comparing what we vape now to CE4s.
Silica days.
Silica based, absolutely. There may have been an issue with all the e-cigarettes, but still at levels lower than smoking. And he also said that substantially improved the profile of aldehyde emissions. And I think that today's products release such low levels of aldehydes that you should probably be exposed to more aldehydes just by staying at home and breathing the air in a house more than using an e-cigarette. Because basically aldehydes are in everything. They're in furniture polish. They're in all sorts of things. And
they're in car exhausts as well.
They're everywhere. Absolutely. However, on sub-ohm vaping, and this is kind of it's a bit of a no shit Sherlock sort of thing. It's what we mentioned a few weeks ago. The more you consume, the more exposure to any potentially toxic chemical. If you double your consumption, you are doubling your exposure to the toxins. Plus, It's possible that subwarming at higher wattages might somehow increase the aldehyde emissions, but I don't think the increase is that important. Vapers will decide for themselves what to do. I'm not going to tell them to do this or do that, but they do need to understand that ideally, in my opinion, they should increase their nicotine concentration and vape as low a level of liquid as they can. And it's pretty much, it's just hammering on pretty much what we're kind of inferring and what we're saying.
But it's the point is really what I was saying was but it depends how much time you've got as well. I vape what would now be deemed as high nicotine, but when I started would be medium, which is most of the time is 12 milligram, or actually most of the time now is 45 milligram Nixol. And so I take about six drags and then put it down, and so I vape about 2 mil a day. Sorry, between 2 and 3.5 probably. But it's a difficult thing, yeah. But if you've got the time and you enjoy it, do exactly what he said. Do what you want. Fuck it.
I mean,
it's not going to kill you. I mean, it's not. It just won't. The levels are low. They're incredibly low.
They're incredibly low.
So in summary, heat not burn's not that bad then.
It's certainly better than smoking. It's certainly better than smoking.
He always finishes with his little personal statement, doesn't he? As well, that it still smells bad, tastes bad, and expensive.
And you bought it off a big tobacco, so you're a wanker.
Let's say I didn't want to pull focus to the IQOS and to Philip Morris. However, if you're not going to vape, but you don't want to smoke, then that is better than smoking.
Agreed. Yeah.
But you know what? It's not anywhere near as good as vaping, and it's probably it's going to be expensive. You think tabs are expensive? What are you going to talk on them a lot? It's going to run up a bill. It's going to really run up a bill.
Absolutely. The IQOS people are absolutely desperate for vaping's approval as well. They're currently approaching each of the very high-profile vape influencers in the game at the moment with bags of cash, bags and bags full to the brim of cash. So for some reason, they do see vaping as an important aspect of the heat not burn thing.
Because they've been flogging this thing for a decade. The heat not burn. It's not new. It's not new at all. And it didn't catch on. The vaping caught on, and so they.
Well, I thought that their site is pretty slick. It's a bonny looking website, and I was on there just doing a little bit of research, and there was one of them chat windows came up, and I typed in, "What does IQOS stand for?" One of these kind of, we're here to help you. Type in your question here, and I popped in, "What does IQOS stand for?" Because I couldn't see it immediately, and I was scooting about, looking at the bits and bobs. Like I say, it was this study was all over their site. I was there for 10-15 minutes. Nobody got back to us and said, "Oh, it stands for such and such." I didn't get a reply. Hi, G. I don't
know what it stands for. I don't know.
I don't know what it stands for.
I thought it was "I quit omnipotent sperm."
I've got no idea. And you know what? Them chaps at Philip Morris, they didn't tell us. They didn't bother telling us. So I expected them to be all over that. Like, "Whoa, we've got a new customer. It stands for this." There was none of that at all.
They're never any good, those chat things.
I don't know. I've used them a few times. Sky was all right. ASOS have one. It's all right.
My cat's car insurance one. My cat's insurance was actually quite handy. The girl was really nice over the chat. At least I think it was a girl.
Could have been anyone. That's probably the internet.
All right, my name's Sandra. I'm using my generic for Sandra here. What do you want to know? You want some car insurance, do you, sunshine? So that's me, Dr. Forcelinos, kind of semi-serious little bit of news there I've got. Next, I have got, this came up, it was back into last week, and this is the Vaping Greek has got a new dripper coming out, and he released a video that he'd made in loads of sections. This is Imio.
Yeah, not the Vaping Greek.
Sorry, not the Vaping Greek. Sorry, the Golden Greek. It's not the Vaping Greek. Sorry, it's not the Golden Greek. It's the Vaping Greek. Not the Vaping Greek. It's the Golden Greek. This is Emil. He's got a new dripper hybrid thing coming out, and it is there's an hour video on YouTube on his YouTube channel. I have watched it and took notes. My notes are a mess. Honestly, they're a mess trying to watch this channel, trying to watch this video. So you don't have to. So it's the Amadeus from the Golden Greek.
Amadeus.
What should I do with these pictures then? Just sort of
Amadeus. I mean, I've got a few pictures. These are all snapped from his video. I couldn't find any actual full-on pretty pictures of it. I want to give you I'll give you the lowdown, the showdown. Like I say, I've watched it, so you don't have to. So this is
I'm going to present Richard, so and then just kind of go for it.
Cool. Okay, so this is the Amadeus dripper come hybrid thing. I'll go into that a little bit. It's got a BF pin. It's got a regular pin. The BF pin and the regular pin, you can remove them without a tool. You kind of screw the bottom off. This is a vastly
how did he think of that deck?
Complicated.
John, don't forget he invented velocity post.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to get to the velocity style post in a bit. So it is a squonker, but it is also a dripper. You get both them pins included. And like I say, you don't even need a tool to remove them. You can't even remove them with the tool. You don't have to remove them with the tool. You can take the bottom off and screw them manually off with your finger. It is 28.5 millimeters high and it is 24 millimeters wide. It's got changeable air pins. It's got a weird thing with these changeable air pins where you change the thing. It's a bit like the Saver, but not the Saver. But it's got a similar sort of thing where you pop a new bit in.
Is there like a mesh bit? I think I saw an anti.
Absolutely. If you're going to pop back there.
Oh, that looks a bastard.
I'll get to you in a bit. The mesh bit there, that is the spit pad protection. It's not actually in the bottom of the drip tip. It's a full spit pad protection. This is pretty cool, actually. It's a full little section in there. No loss of airflow. If you're still getting spit back, apparently you've got a couple of them in there.
I'm waiting for the look at that. Look at the
this drip tip is it's not any drip tip. It's an every drip tip. So it's ringed on the outside. This is apparently going to be compatible with the recoil by Grim Grain. I've not seen that RDA. I don't know so sure about it.
It's got the same fixture.
So they're going to be. But there's the thing: if you don't like it, you can take the two O-rings off or leave them on if you want, and that's still a 510 drip tip size on the inside of that.
That's what they did with the Moonshot. It looks a wanker when you take it off.
So it's got changeable air pins. It's got a bottom EFC. It's got a bottom.
What's this picture about, James?
Okay, I'll get around in a second.
I'm going to show you the drip tip.
Just keep that on there, because there's loads of features. This is crazy. There's like a million parts to this. That's how it looks there. I couldn't find a decent picture. So there's a bottom airflow. That's what them holes in the bottom are. You can see the two holes I'm pointing at the screen. That does nothing. There's a couple of holes in the bottom there. That's for the bottom airflow. But there's also a cyclops on the side. This is designed to be everything to everybody. It's a direct lung and it's a mouth to lung. And so can we go back to the velocity style posts? There should be a couple of the velocity style posts. The velocity style post, that one there, you can see, look how close together them velocity style posts are. If you want to go back to another one for us, please, Rich. You'll see they're a lot wider there, and because of the velocity style posts, they open up. They become. You can move them in and out because people. Look at that one there. You can see there they're quite wide there. That is when it's in kind of direct lung mode, and you're putting your big fat coils in there. And then when you want to move it into mouth to lung mode, you slide them together, and you can put your smaller kind of mouth to lung coils in there.
It reminds me of my mum. Sorry.
The deck all comes apart. It's a million bits. So you can pull all the deck out, and the deck is completely removable. It's got a dome cap with a coned section leading to the airflow, I think is what he was saying. Spit pad protection I mentioned. Drip tips included. He's going to make an ultimate drip tip later on down the line. The drip tip that's included there. I think he says he's going to sack that and bring out like a top hat shaped one with a rim around the top so you don't bang your lips. This here is then converted into a tank. You're going to be able to buy separately later a tank section where you just pull it, and this is the crazy thing, you just pull the dripper top off like you would with a normal regular dripper, and then you just pop this new tank section on, and that becomes a tank.
So it's just pressure fitted.
Yeah, absolutely. And
That'd be
then
good. That'd be good in your pocket.
and not just that, you're then going to be able to then expand that tank. So that's a 3.5. The one you see in there is a 3.5 milliliter tank. You then give an extension section to bring it up to a 5 milliliter tank. And again, that just, you screw that top cap off there. It's a top fill on the tank. You screw that off there. You're going to pop a new one on there. Give it an extra 1.5 mils. In the tank section, it's going to be liquid control. It's got top fill. It's squonkable. The top cut. If you convert it to a tank, it's still squonkable because you can still leave the squonk pin in there. And what he was saying on his video was basically what you'd have is you could have 0 nicotine juice or a low nicotine juice or whatever in your tank section, but then you want a bit of a hit and a kick. You could have like some Nick salts or whatever in the bottom there. Give it a wee squonk. Have a few talks of your Nick salts. And then obviously once you've used it up, the tank will then. So the squonking doesn't fill the tank up, but it does flood the deck from your squonk bottle. If you wanted that kind of weird thing, that's a weird thing. Well, have I mentioned everything? Velocity style poster, movable and out. The airflow is bottom and sideways. So it's a side air and it's a bottom air. It's such a crazy thing. It's such a crazy thing. It's made of 316 stainless steel. And we're looking at, he thinks the price is going to be about €109 for the dripper section. That doesn't include the tank section. He doesn't mention what the price on the tank section might be. That's the Amadeus from the Golden Greek.
Amadeus.
All vapes to all people. He's like invented something that is everything. No, I'm not. He really mentioned the flavour a lot there. He really spent a lot of time developing the flavour. Not the flavour. I mean, I've had a couple of Golden Greek RTAs in the past. The Torremolinos, the Telema House. I'd
very much like to see them.
Was a great
to see them
really great tank.
I'd like to see them hit form again. I'm skeptical as to whether this is hitting.
It seems crazy. I mean, if you had the whole kit and caboodle with them different what does he call them, the air hosts or whatever he calls them, I can't remember, because I see, he's speaking in broken air pins or whatever I think he calls them. If you had all of them for dual and single, and then you had the tank section and you had all of the bits, it's going to be a big box of goodies if you bought.
You can only vape it one way at once, though.
You can, of course, but
and if you want it in velocity style tank mode, there's a million velocity style RTAs already.
But is the thing, the way he's designed it is
£20 as well. You can get them for really, really cheap and some good ones as well. So it'd have to stand out.
Well, I think it does stand out. I mean, it stands out in so much as that it's this amazing transforming tank that dripper that becomes a tank, and there's BF or non-BF, and it's got mouth to lung, and it's got
what's it called?
Crazy. It's absolutely mental. I'm
there's another tank that does that. There's another tank it's a dripper, but you can add a tank. Is it the aromarizer? Has that not got dripper?
Yeah.
Tanks?
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong.
That's velocity plus as well.
I've just been getting quite recently a Typhoon GS, and with that I've got you can transform that into a dripper. It's not a new concept, so I don't think. Maybe he thinks he's invented. I don't think he thinks he. Maybe he does. I've no idea.
He invented the word concept.
I mean, the squonkable RTA, that's new. That's definitely new.
Like I say, it doesn't fill. You're not refilling the tank. It's not like the Nixon, or like if you put a BF pin in
an RDTA.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like that. You are literally just flooding the deck. You are just squonking to the deck. So the tank is still full of whatever juice you've got in your tank, but then you can just squonk to the deck. It seems crazy. He seems like a crazy fella. I must admit, I laughed half a dozen times through the video. I don't think I was supposed to. I've watched it, like I say, so you don't have to. It was it was good. It was good. It was a good. I don't know. It was something, and that's the Amadeus from Golden Creek. I've already said that. That's me done. That's my news. That's my news this week. I've got some tribe bars, but I don't know whether you want to do them now.
Yeah, let's do them now.
Excuse me. Okay then. Here. This is from Bob. Cufflinks reminded him of.
Oh, we want to try guitar bars.
We want to try for guitar bars, right? This is from. The first one is from Bob. I haven't got my list up. Let's just bring my list up. So this is from Bob. Sorry, cufflinks reminded him of the half. Is that a reminder of the half?
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, look, top or bottom, depending on which way you're looking at it, is stab wood. Second half is I don't know, diamonds and platinum. I don't know. There's no diamonds and platinum half available at the minute, I don't think. But
this one's from Fizz.
Yeah, this one just came in today. This is a double tri-vitava in so much as
how,
because one, it's a penguin. And two, it's R2. You know, R2.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We've had R2 on. We had R2 did a little clip for us on the show.
Yeah, so it's like the Italian. You call it the Italian collection.
All right. Okay.
Italian
I'll give you that.
Connection, should I say?
I was like, nah, but yeah, okay. R2 and Penguin. Give you it.
Yeah, you haven't that.
I've gone rogue, James. This says Goon on it.
It does. It's my T-shirt.
It is good. I can't remember who that's from. I'm trying to accidentally sign at the NatWest Happy. I didn't mean to do that. Bring up me.
Who's this one?
This is from Herbie McGubbin. This is like a light fitting or something, but it looks a bit like that.
It does look like a mod. If you showed me that, it's not. That's a lighter or something. There's a flywheel on the left-hand side.
I think. I mean, it could be like. I don't think it's a light. I think
steampunk, isn't it?
It's steampunk.
It is steampunk-like.
I think this is an old-fashioned. I don't know. I could be wrong. It was presented as something like an old-fashioned lamp.
No way. That's not. Somebody's made that in the last like 5 years. It's not old.
I've no idea. Looks a bit like a mod. Looks a bit like that squonk that we had on.
It does look like a light. It does look like a mod. Give you that totally.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is from Howard Down, and I've got no idea. I don't know whether this is some sort of air purification thing, or is this
a mod?
Juicer?
No. It's made by Boredom. Is this a coffee or a water filtration thing, or a coffee pot?
Oh right, okay.
Oh, coffee. Yeah, coffee.
It's got some sort of timing mechanism on it.
Is it a grinder? Is it a coffee grinder?
It's not just a salt pot, is it?
I'd go with coffee grinder. It looks like that.
Oh, I'd say coffee, yeah.
But remind him of it, and we'll put it on the show.
There's no scale, so it's hard to tell. But chat are saying that was a lighter.
That was a lighter. Okay.
That's all right then. Little mod.
That's right. This is the Goon T-shirt.
So that was from Howard Down. This is from James Hall. This is
James Hall.
Goonies T-shirt.
It's one of my Goonies T-shirts. I think I've got 3 Goonies T-shirts. I don't wear T-shirts that actually look like Goonies. I just wear T-shirts that. I think it says Goon Docs on the front.
It does say Goon Docs.
Because that's why they're called the Goonies, people. Save the Goon Docs.
Jay Hayden on this one.
This is reaching. This is really G up your game.
I'm going to have to give him a fail because the Exocet is named after the missile. It is. It's not the other way around. So it's a reach.
It is. It's a reach, and that's why it's there. It's there because it's a reach. Thanks for playing though, G. Next one.
John Legg.
Yeah, John Legg. That's pretty good. He's got
it's
it.
Not. It's not. It's potpourri.
Come on, that could be ribbon wire coil. That could be ribbon wire coil.
Oh, is that it? Oh, that's reaching.
Is reaching.
Why has he got his potpourri sitting in a toilet bowl of soup?
It's terrible, isn't it? Potpourri is one of the. It's just a waste of money. Next. It doesn't smell of anything. Oh, good one.
I like this one. This got a little bit of. There's a little bit of conflict on this one, and
I'm with it.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. It's a nipple. It's definitely a nipple RDA. Dripping's a little weird.
Keith Jones, I think I said it's a bit reaching, and he just said, "Fuck off," and I just went, "Okay." It just looks like a lump of old shit.
It looks like a nipple. It looks like a nipple that's been.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does. It looks like a TGT nipple. Next one. This one's from me. This is.
I wouldn't have admitted that. I just said you couldn't find out.
It's from me, and look, it's got a number on there. It's like a Vamo with a.
Well, what is it really?
What is it really?
It's an electrolysis device. No, not electrolysis. What's it called where you stick the pins in people?
Oh, bullshit.
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture. It's an electronic acupuncture. So basically, it's it came up on my Facebook feed. Basically, you just send this tiny electric shock into people. I think it would be quite fun to have at parties.
Yeah, it would be quite fun. I'll give you that. It won't do anything health-wise.
This is from Ibby.
Nuts, like the odd.
But he fails because it's spelt wrong, isn't it? Isn't it? Nuts is Z.
Now that you're saying that, I'm going to tell you. He did say I'm adding this to kind of extend the. I can't remember what the word.
I've had a nuts, but I thought it was Z. But I might be completely wrong. I might be misremembering. Someone in chat will tell me off if I'm wrong.
That was from Paul Iverson, who's normally of a high quality.
He's normally good.
He is a high quality drive top. This is from Bob again. This is pump drive coupling. Looks like a GR.
Yeah, it looks like a top cap. Like it.
Yep. Next one.
This one is
awesome. This is probably the best
one.
Oh,
that is good. I didn't even. I even zoomed in thinking, is it a mod?
It's a radio, isn't it? It's a wireless communication.
Talkie-walkie in it.
Oh right, it does look like a mod.
Looks a lot like his wad. That's his wad. His mod. That's from Sean
Harding. That one, yeah.
Looks like a smock mod with big lights all over it.
Yeah, it's very smock design. You get away with it in that game though.
And the last one. This is not a Tri-Vitava. This is what was this called? This had a weird name. This is basically when you bling your bike up.
Yeah, it's like a spokey for a motorbike.
Yeah. We're going to zoom into the next. If you go to the next one, if you want to zoom in close up, check that out, man. He's printed. He's 3D printed these for the Ideal Home Show logo, and I just love these. I mean, he had the hashtag Tri-Vitava. This is not a Tri-Vitava. However, it was that good. I decided we should.
Who did that to the bike? That's wicked.
Sean Harding, was it?
Chris Bishop.
Chris, I like it. Chris,
yeah, Chris Bishop. That's class. That.
And if you zoom in on the other one, it's both forks. He's got them on both forks.
Lovely, Chris. Chris in chat. Nice one.
Brill, absolutely brill. See if I can find it. What that's called. What is it? It's got a weird name. This kind of doing up your bike with
Spokey Dokies. You were right.
Things, yeah.
It's called Spokey Dokie.
Spokey Dokie.
I can't remember what it's called, but it was a good one. It wasn't a Tri-Vitava, it was a good one. So we included in there. Thank you very much all for playing this week. It's been beautiful.
I've got. Oh, I'm still doing that. Okay, so I've got a few bits and bats. I've got this week on Instagram. This is going to have you. This is a talking point. This one. I'll talk a bit more about this next time, but this is this week on Instagram. So this is vaping news from the Instagram world. First of all, we've got this one. This is from Dimitri the Vaping Greek, the real one, not the golden one. This is this. Did you get this today, Paul? The new Zenith tanks coils.
No, but I got a message from UPS saying they're delivering something tomorrow. It might be that.
Oh, okay, maybe. So basically, they've done this again. The Zenith.
I really hope it's an improvement.
Chroma kit, but they've now done a low wattage version of these mesh coils that everyone's doing. These plexus coils, I can call them.
Does it restrict the non-mouth to lung? Because it's not mouth to lung.
You can mouth to lung it.
Well, can I? Which
I don't know. Probably not. For me, it's like this.
Nah, I can't see your cheeks going in. It's not mouth to mouth.
It's not tight. It's never a tight draw with those guys. But that was Dimitri, the Vaping Greek, posted that. That's Inikin's new thing, and it arrived today, and it's definitely a thing. Have you got one of these, Paul? This is the new intake RTA from Mike Vapes and Org Vape.
Jesus Christ.
No, I've not got one.
Okay, fair enough.
Not yet. I don't know, but I seen a picture of it earlier. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think they're only sending it to the the top reviewers. But I don't know. Maybe you'll get.
It doesn't look that bad in the flesh. I don't like it like that. Where they've done that Instagram picture, it looks like R2D2's knob.
Yeah, the main thing to point out is these massive tubes, and those massive tubes are simply taking the air from the top right down to the bottom. So you've got the advantages of top airflow, but with hopefully the flavour of bottom airflow.
I don't know what that means. Sorry, is the air? So the air is coming in the top and down those tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So it's bottom airflow,
and then going up underneath the coil and back up again.
So you might as well have put the airflow at the bottom.
Well, you don't get the leak in, I suppose.
Oh, okay. So what is it? A tank or it's a tank, isn't it?
It's worked very well for the engine. The engine's done very well with this style. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
this is.
I did that picture. Doesn't you holding it up worked better than their picture?
Yeah, it's a very normal RTA on the surface, and I don't think it's doing anything crazy. But it's a big single coil RTA, and they're doing this whole air in the top, down those tubes, back up again thing.
Okay.
Is it 20, 24 mil, 20, 25, 24? It looks big.
At the bubble, yeah, at the bubble, it must be at least 25. I haven't got that far yet. I haven't got the old.
Is that Mike working with Og Vape now? I mean, he's going round them all, wasn't he?
He brings out some every week, doesn't he?
He's at Vandy Vape with Tofu and now Og Vape.
He's a talent. He's a talented guy. And I know that he is a big fan of the engine, and so this is sort of almost if he was designing the engine V2, this is what it would have been like type thing. And the engine's a very popular RTA, so. So that's a thing. And then lastly, let me preempt this one. Sorry, this might look strange thing to do, but not without context. I just did a thing. Let's have a look. Oh no. Right. Okay, so the last one is this is my new personal thing. On Instagram. It's Cam Winas says, "Why do toxic men have the best dick?" Asking for myself. It's Cam Winas is the vice president of Buckshot Vapors Inc. She poses that question. Why is that, John? Why do toxic men have the best dick?
It's one of those things, isn't it? You got to put up with the toxic, get the dick.
Yeah.
Life.
James, do you agree?
Well, I think Britney Spears answered that probably years ago.
I think Dolly Parton, didn't she? You got to put up with the rain to get the rainbows, or you got to put up with the smell of cat food if you want a cat.
Yeah. Or else the little kitty will die.
That's the Dolly Parton lyric.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she posted that question, on her Instagram.
If you want, I mean, I think that's a little it's lost a bit of its poetry by saying you've got to put up with the toxic to get the best dick. I think that's
yeah, but she's not wrong though. No, she's pointed that out on her Instagram.
God Almighty.
That's I don't know. So that was also on Instagram this week. What else did I put in my news? A special thank you to everyone who participated in my charity raffle. £434 raised for my local children's hospice.
Well done.
Yeah, it was great. And a lot of OMIs got involved, and so very appreciative. And prizes are on the way tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone
because it's a huge stress and it's a pain in the arse.
Yes,
Probably.
it is. It should be way easier than it is, but it's just not easy.
No, someone's got to work out a way of doing it. But it is an arsehole.
Yeah, and so that's a thing. Also, let me just get this and put this up as well. James, this actually happened quite a while ago, but we put the picture up today, and so caused caused the sort of remembering of it. But just to make it official, slightly later than planned, James's golden ticket to instant access to the Hall of Fame goes to the brilliantly Ash. Incredible mod maker, really nice bloke, very funny bloke who we've sadly lost, but has been now inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. And I know me and James kind of, I think we went on for about 20 minutes when James put Lee in. I don't really have the words. He obviously deserved and a fantastic choice from James. He, sadly missed, and I think a lot of people are still feeling it. It's been
Proper artist as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And hopefully, well, not hopefully, he'll never. People of our era in vaping will never forget him. Never forget him. I mentioned before about basically his pipes being the first high-end bit of kit that I ever kind of lusted after, and yeah, but he'll always live on through his work and the fact that he's got all these gorgeous pieces out there, stabilized his own Modi or whatever, and great lad.
It's those to be just slightly down. It's those calls, those things in vaping. You know, those of us who've been doing it a while. It's those calls in vaping you don't want, and you get that. You get a notification from somebody you know pretty well, but you know them through one specific thing, and your message alert goes off, and I knew what it was the second it was, and second Lee went, I knew exactly what it was, and it just kicks your legs away from under you, because we're all ex-smokers, and we know the risk. We know the risks we took before, and hopefully we've got off it before the damage was done. And we're gonna. It's that really crap thing, as Frank put it a couple of months ago. You know, we've all done this thing. It's incredibly bad for your health, and unfortunately, that means that when you're in the industry or you're in the social media bubble, you know all these people, and so it hits home when somebody goes. Excuse me.
So yeah, Paul. You don't have to top that in any way, but you, as our guest host, do get the honour of putting an item into the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
we were talking about it today, weren't we? It's getting harder. There is some good stuff already in.
There was some good stuff. I mean, I thought the Vamo, and that was there, obviously the Silvestro stuff, but I'm going to put this in. This, guys, is the EVIC VTC Mini. I think throughout the time we've all had, I mean, mine's is still working. As you can see, I'm modelling it off with the Saver. I mean, I think it was the first box mod that came out that was firmware upgradable, and it was just, I think we all had one. I think I had about 3 of them at one point. Solid, durable, and like I said, 3 years on, it's still working. So EVIC VTC Mini.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great mod. It's a great mod.
So absolutely solid. That was the mod that me mother used for in and out for years. You know, she had several of them. I used them, and not just that. I know it was quite possibly the first firmware upgradable, but also I saw people transplanting the innards to other things. DNA boards and the likes were usually used in mods. But I remember seeing the mini boarding being actually transplanted in a regular, in a kind of homemade, not homemade, in a mod maker made mods as well. That was how good the board was. It was. There
was a popular. The popular thought at the time was you had to get, for the accuracy of TC, the accuracy of wattage and all that, you had to get Evolve or Yeehee. And that was the first one that actually passed, you know, the Phil Posado style testing, you know.
Totally. And then you could put your own little pictures on there. I had a little ID Loam Show logo on mine for a bit and stuff. It was
Yeah, cheapest chips as well. I mean, they were only, what, 25, 30 pounds?
Yeah, and they've lasted, haven't they?
Yeah, they were solid. So,
and know a good mod when they do iterations of the same mod, because they brought out a dual cell version of that as well, didn't they?
yeah, I think they brought out a 2 just recently. Was it, maybe they called it something else? I can't remember what it was called. Primo Mini or something? Primo something like that? VC Mini? I can't remember, but I'm sure they brought out a newer version. It had the kind of bubble glass on it, big screen. Carbon fibre, of course, on the back, but...
Is that not what you're talking about?
That was yes. That I think that carried the same name, didn't it? Is it the Primo Mini?
Yes.
Yeah, Evic. Yeah, it carried the Evic name, didn't it?
Yes.
And that board has just gone on because all the Wismic gear and all the E-Leaf gear came with it as well.
The charger board sucks, but apart from that, it's all right.
Yeah. Well, that was no one
no
was charging on board at that time, were they?
No, don't plug it in.
So yeah, great choice. That will be added to the Hall of Fame.
Fantastic. I think we're going into the Paul McCartney interview, much like James Corden.
Yeah, we need to grill you now. This is severe interrogation.
Why can't you sing "Hey Jude" anymore? It sounds weird, man. The voice went.
After a few whiskies down the pub, I sing Sweet Carolina pretty good. Well, I think it's good, but it's not. That's my song of choice.
I have to tell you about a very funny moment during. Brad is not very well known for listening. He's not very good at listening. I really hope Brad is watching this back, because Brad's not very good at listening. And when he said in our private chat, he said, I've got to do this, selling my body for a charity thing, and I can't get out of it. So there's no way I can do Thursday. And Richard said, "Don't worry, I'm going to ask Paul McCartney." And Brad wrote "lol," and I put no. That's a real person. It still makes me laugh. Brad, it was a conversation we had a couple of weeks because you were supposed to be on before this, but it really made me laugh that you went "lol."
Well, Facebook is a funny story. Facebook actually, if you look at my Facebook account, it's actually Paul McCartney, and it's because when I try and set up a Paul McCartney Facebook, they say I need to have a band account, and I've messaged them saying, "Look, I'm not actually the real person." So never get back to me, so my Facebook's still McCartney.
That is amazing. Right, I think we're going to go through the normal vaping questions, Paul. How long have you been vaping for?
4.5 years. I've got a little app. I'll tell you the exact time if you give me.
Well, we need to know. I know they're on the edge of their seats.
I know mine exact now.
I've got my little quit smoking app. 3rd of March 2014. So
3rd of March 2014. Wow, pretty good.
1,578 days. I quit smoking.
What was your preferred cigarette before you quit?
A Marlboro Light.
Oh, they give me a headache. I was a Benson Gold, just champion fan.
I used to smoke Marlboro, and then when I was on holiday,
that was a good fag.
I went on holiday, and it was like my first boys' holiday, and I must have smoked about 1,000 in about 2 days.
Good man.
So I had a really sore throat, so I switched to lights, and then I just never came off them. Just stayed on the lights. I like that before they changed. You remember when they pushed them down? Marlboro Red would kick your legs out. Brilliant. Yeah, they're real McCoy. They were right.
They were fucking good, and they smelt like arsehole. You've only got one e-liquid. What would it be?
Big fan of G1 e-liquids, Tangerizzi. I probably vape that every single day on something. It's a tangerine-like vape. But
Nice.
It's fruity and it's quite light, so it's not too heavy. I do like custards, but sometimes they get a little bit too heavy. So the G1 Tangerizzi, definitely.
Questions flying in from chat as well.
Go.
Stuart Legg says, Paul, question, UFC or boxing?
Oh, UFC, a man's sport. Boxing's for the
See, I'm going to go against that. I really like boxing because you got to keep your temper, whereas I think UFC you don't. So I don't like.
I feel like if you take the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, right? Conor McGregor was still standing, and even after it, he said, "You know, I wish the referee had just let him beat me." In the UFC, he would have had to have been knocked out cold before the referee.
He would have done it though. No, I think you're being nice because Mayweather would have killed him.
Yeah, he was standing by choice, and that choice was Mayweather's.
I had a lot of money on Conor McGregor that night. It was very,
Did you really?
You
Oh, I
muppet.
thought he was going to do it. I was sure of it.
Oh my God! There's no. I mean, I see. I used to be an absolutely huge boxing fan, and they are. It's not close. I know. I'm going to just quickly pound that back to Richard. UFC or boxing? I already know the answer.
Yeah, I can't stand UFC.
No, it's fucking nuts.
Really?
But I think if you're really into boxing, you can't entertain UFC.
No.
So just especially on the side of boxing that I'm at, because it's not really proper boxing. If you're a purist, it's actually nothing to do with hurting the other person.
Yeah, no, I get that. The technique involved and all that.
Yeah, it's more of an art and
It's like the
sweet science and all that.
You know the way, like boxing weigh-in, and because the UFC weigh-in is obviously it's part of the family tree of the boxing weigh-in, and the boxing weigh-in has always been this thing, which is you try and get the other person to lose their temper because you know somebody out of control in the ring, they're done, they're absolutely done. You're finished. I remember when Lewis beat Tyson, and when they did it and they had a hug at the end, Tyson knew he'd lost because he lost his temper. He just kept getting too close, and it was fantastic.
I will caveat that by saying I completely understand why UFC has taken off the way it has, and
absolutely
each their own, and you know, I'm sure it's incredibly entertaining. It has drawn me in a few times, but I've too obsessed with boxing to get into it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We didn't ask what was the initial e-cig that got you off, and what was your first proper mod?
Well, the first e-cig I got was actually an Eagle one from a company called iBacky. I mean, it was one of the ones that was sold in I don't know if you guys have got cash generators or something like that. Version of a pawn shop almost. Well, my friend worked in one, and I was down seeing him, and they had them behind, and I was like, "What's that?" And he was telling me about it, and I was like, "Give me one." Then it was a blueberry iBacky e-liquid that I got with it. And funnily enough, we went to the UFC that weekend, and down in London, and I took it with me. And when I got to the O2 Arena, everybody was vaping, and they were actually selling vaping equipment in the arena because they wanted, to stop you going out to smoke. So it was allowed at this point. And there was the iBacky. I ended up having about 5 or 6 of this iBacky e-cig until I kind of clicked that there was better ones out there.
Yeah.
And I got myself a Kangertech EVOD kit, and it had the variable voltage on the bottom, and it was actually Scott Bonner's review of it that I'd seen.
Wicked.
It made me go and get it. And I'd watched this review over and over, and I was like, right, that's the one for me. So I went and got it, and I got 2 batteries, and they were...
That's got to be the next question. Have you met the Bonner?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Are you coming to Vape Fest this year?
No, I don't think so.
It's the Bonner. It's the Bonner.
Maybe put it in the diary for next year. But yeah, it'd be good to meet you all. See a lot of people face to face that I just talked to online.
Yeah, but absolutely,
yeah, definitely.
fantastic.
The first proper box mod was the MVP2, and I'd seen Chris from Indoor Smokers reviewing it.
Cracking. It's still a good. That'd still stop people now.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the kind of wooden one. It was like oak. I thought it was the greatest thing of all time. Kind of came with a matching tank and everything. It was great.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that was my first proper box mod.
Thank you. So obviously, you
plug your stuff.
Plug your stuff. Yeah. Do you have a YouTube channel
and a massive Facebook group as well?
Yes. called Vape Don't Smoke. I'll do it for you. You haven't got a choice in this.
I didn't want to just keep doing that, but yeah,
you can do that.
Facebook groups. It's quite big. It's actually dropping. We're about 9,500 members, but we're down about 8 in just under 9,000 now. So I don't know if people are losing interest or a lot of the members were spam, you know. But there's a core group, you know. So you've got 9,000, but there's maybe 100 that are always on it, talking every day, and you get to know them all that. So you've got that core members, but they're a great bunch of guys. The admin team are great. They do a lot more than I do, obviously, on the group. But the group's there over Vape Don't Smoke. It's a good bunch of guys over there.
www.facebook.com. I know Rick would want me to say that. So. Bob Clark's just asked the question in the chat, which is very important because you're Scotch. Salt or sugar on porridge?
Salt. Yeah, a little bit of salt.
That is so Scottish.
I really like the fact I got away with the Scotch comment. Didn't even say anything. Just put up with me calling Scotch.
Yeah, no, just
Scotch eggs, Scotch tape, Scotch guards, Scotch port. It's number 4.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt.
Yeah, so the review channel is literally just type in Vape Don't Smoke on the YouTube.
Yeah, channel's there, Vape Don't Smoke. I do my best. Tried to do some videos lately that were trying to be a little bit more personal and rather than just review after review after review. So we did like a top 5 Friday last week. Plan on doing one tomorrow as well. Just kind of just personal stuff, you know, what my favourite things are.
I just got a really good question. As somebody who's in vaping social media, who's been not what their name is, because who gives a shit, but your favourite troll so far? Somebody, because I've had many people threaten to beat me up in the 4 years I've done social media and vaping. So I'm sure someone's threatened to beat you up.
No, I've never been threatened.
What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know if it's.
He's a nice guy, John.
I'm a nice guy.
I've had some real belters. I've had some real nasty comments, but I've never been threatened to be beaten up. I've been called fat. People have slagged my gummy tooth, but no, I've never been.
I like the fact they always mention stuff like you hadn't noticed, because I always get even if it's just purse, people will go, look at your hair, and I go, I know about it, and they'll go, you got a massive forehead, and I go, yeah, I know that. These are things I know about. It's fine.
But no,
you look like a cunt. I do look like a cunt. It's been said before.
Yeah, no, you do get some belters right enough, and so usually it's you wake up in the morning and you get them, so it's like first thing, it's like 7:30 in the morning. You're like, God's sake, it's a bit early for that, but yeah, that's just the way you put yourself out there. You're going to get that. You know, you can't please everybody.
Yeah,
you do try, but you're never going to do it. I always get one thumbs down for some reason. Whenever I upload a video, within, let's say it's a 15-20 minute video, within a minute of it uploading, I always have one thumbs down. So
we always get 2.
Yeah, we always get 2. No matter what.
No matter what we do, it's always 2. It's 2 within 10 minutes.
Somebody, but it's obviously they've not watched the video because it's not been up long enough, and there's always one within a few minutes, and it's like they must have an alert that says I've uploaded the video, and then they go in and do it. So I'm kind of like, well.
I like the fact they're subscribed. They've got alerts on, and it says they put a video up, and you go down, and then they sign into their other account and put down again, and they're like, done.
You know what? Thumbs up or thumbs down. At least they're giving me
interaction. Don't give a shit. Have you, James? Yeah, go.
Gone all quiet, James.
No,
Favorite pizza? What is your favorite pizza, Paul? Got to know now.
Go on, yeah, that's a good question.
My favorite pizza is actually a combination of doner meat and pepperoni. I mean, I'll get some.
That is a dirty pizza.
Yeah, that's not bad. You want to try a barbecue chicken with doner meat, Paul? That's a barbecue chicken with doner meat. Oh, good.
That does sound quite good. Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
I like it because the doner meat goes slightly hard in the corners, just like the edges curl up.
I've never seen a pizza with doner meat on it in my entire life.
Oh
Long
no,
live John.
and try a fried Mars bar when you're at it.
I've done that. I did that. I remember that in about 1994, and then they stopped doing it.
My question was going to be, it's kind of already been answered, sort of. I know on your videos you've got a WWE mock belt behind you on some of your videos.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking you if you were a big wrestling fan. That's what I was going to ask you. Then obviously the boxing UFC question came up.
Yeah, no, me and my friend went to New York. We went to WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 29, and it was in New Jersey. And we'd obviously, planned how much money we needed and all that kind of stuff. So, but we went on it was like, although we're in New York, this was our WrestleMania weekend. So, I mean, Friday was the Hall of Fame, Saturday was the kind of NXT thing, and then Sunday was WrestleMania, Monday was Monday Night Raw, and then Tuesday I came home. So I never actually saw New York. But when we were at WrestleMania, we had all this money left because we hadn't really been doing anything. So I went up and we bought the belt, and it was like the equivalent of like £400. It's like crazy money, but we had so much of it left. So when we took it in, I got it signed by. If you look at the back of it, it's actually signed by probably the worst wrestlers you would ever imagine. It was because there was so many queues, and there's a little queue there, and we were in, and it was like Harley Race or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They've signed it. It's like at the time it was great meeting them, but yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggan's an awesome wrestler. Well, yeah, but not quite world champion material. But I'm a big fan. I love the WWE. I love the storytelling aspect of it. I know it's a bit cheesy at times, but yeah, I've watched it since I was about 12. So yeah, it's a sort. So who was the main event at WrestleMania 29? It was John Cena versus The Rock. 2. John Cena versus Rock 2, and the biggest fight was CM Punk wrestled The Undertaker, which was cool to see The Undertaker. Yeah. And CM Punk, obviously. But
where was that? Was it at Madison Square Garden?
No, it was at in New Jersey, the big MetLife Stadium. It was like 100,000 people.
You're going to get in trouble because you're going to say you went to New York, but you were in New Jersey.
Well, no, I stayed in New York. We got a bus out.
Oh,
we got the bus. The one thing I remember, it was really cold because we were quite far back, to be honest. But it was like really cold, and we never expected it to be cold. So I had like a little hoodie on, and of course I've got that belt. So I'm wearing the belt and a little hoodie, and it's freezing. It's freezing. How long left? Oh, about 4 hours. Oh God. So we just drank. But it was good. It was good fun. It was good fun. If I went again, I maybe not do as much. It was kind of an awful lot.
You've got to see New York instead.
Yeah, could have done that. I did see Madison Square Garden though. I did see that. That was a must.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to think of more questions. So, when you first started vaping, you obviously mentioned Mr. I Get to 69, who also stopped me smoking. I think he stopped James as well. I think he may have stopped Richard. I'm not sure. He didn't.
Big influence.
A huge influence. Who else were your YouTube influences?
Chris at Indoor Smokers. I've seen a lot of him. So much so that he used to always, I don't know if he does it now, I've not seen him watch these videos in a long time, but I used to watch these videos all the time. But he used to talk about these MIG Cigalite things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I end up ordering one, but see, the cost of it and then the customs charge cost me about £140 in total.
Oh.
It was murder. And of course, when I got it, I didn't want to use it because there was only so many tanks. I was like, well, if I use it, I'll end up not having any tanks left. But yeah, Indoor Smokers. I liked his videos.
He must have got a massive backhander for that. He was always plugging those.
Always, yeah, and he had loads of them. But I liked these videos because he didn't just do reviews. He done a lot of he just talked and all that, and
crazy skits and all sorts of stuff. He used to be quite funny. Yeah. Quite funny.
And then
he keeps people off. He keeps people off the cigs in a different way, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Vape It with Les Pick and down in Yorkshire. His videos were cool as well. And when I started watching Les Pick and Vaping with Les, his was a little bit different. So his was very much sitting in his living room, kind of doing it, you know, just personally, and you know, just a normal camcorder, and he took it with him. And all. When I saw that, I thought to myself, you know what, I buy all this stuff anyway, so just for shits and giggles, let's throw up a video and see if anybody watches it. So luckily,
I was expecting you to say the Todd. That was the person I was.
Oh, not really. Todd, I never started watching Todd for quite a while, to be honest. Although I did see him review. I think I've still got it. It's this. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
Ego. I seen him review this, and I went and bought one, and I've kept it all this time because it's just cool, little pirate thing. But I never use. I don't know if it still works. But no, it was indoor smokers and vaping relays, and then Richard. I saw Richard review the Camry pipe.
Yeah.
That was a really good video, and I went and bought one based on that video. Thanks for that, Richard. Shit.
Well, if you were paying attention, I said it was shit.
But yeah, no, I was fascinated by this Camry pipe. Just it was.
I think that's why I was so frustrated in that video, because I wanted.
Do you both? This is a good question for Richard and yourself actually. Because we've never been that kind of show and never been involved in that kind of thing. When you get a message from somebody saying that you helped them quit smoking, is that like a fire in the furnace? Is that like a fuel in the furnace?
It's nice. It is nice. It is nice to hear that you helped. The trolls keep me going.
Paul, if you get something big, because you're that guy, you know, we've just been speaking about the person that stopped you, because it is always forward in your mind. Scott's a friend of mine now, and you know, and I can I message Scott, but when I see him in person, it comes back, because that's the guy who stopped me smoking, because I've not smoked for 6 years or something, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you both are those people who've stopped people smoking.
I mean, it can be quite humbling. I think when someone takes the time to send you a message saying thanks and that, I mean, it's really quite nice for someone to kind of take the time to do it, and it's a little bit humbling. I tend to respond the same way, you know. It's more, well, you did it, not me. You know, I never got your size. You did it yourself. You know, so I always kind of say that. But it's nice that people take the time to send you any kind of message. To be honest,
it's nice to be so modest, but you're. I'm going to be a knob. You're wrong. And anybody who sends that message, they do mean it, because I wouldn't have stopped at all. And I still. If anybody says, I still don't mind other people smoking, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. If I'm stood next to them with a cigarette, no, I don't care. What stops somebody smoking is somebody speaking their language. That's it. That's literally it. It can be a bloke in a shop. It can be somebody on YouTube, but it's somebody speaking the language you understand. And I remember watching, because this was I stopped on an Ego T, and I remember watching Scott and vaping this Ego T, and it was a game changer. But he didn't say that, but I'm saying that it was. There was no I mean, fucking hell, it was faffing about now when you consider it, but back then it wasn't considered faffing about.
No.
And he stopped me smoking. So you and Richard have both stopped people smoking. We're well aware of our place in the community, and we can obviously see the chat flicking past with people who have vaped for years. Hopefully a little bit of it keeps them doing it, but we don't stop people. People like you and Richard stop people smoking. You do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Modest, don't agree, Richard. You look a cunt.
Yeah, no, I'm saving lives on the day.
I think
the latest smock tank.
I always think the hobby aspect of vaping helps people as well. I think that, you know, it's one thing getting an e-cig, but, you know, eventually that stops doing it for you. So you need to buy another. That's why most of us have got loads and loads and loads of stuff, because it's the hobbyist part of it that comes out. So we're almost kind of trading.
And not only that, you're saving. I mean, I think the average smoker smokes a 20 pack is a 20 pack for a reason. Most people smoke 20 a day.
Yeah.
Even if you smoke shit fags, that's £8 a day. So every 5 days, you've got 40 quid that you wouldn't have. So you buy something else with it.
Absolutely. That's it. It's burning a hole in your pocket, isn't it?
Yeah. So people buy stuff with it, which is
so much choice now as well. I mean, when yourself as well, when I started vaping, you could probably buy everything that was new. And I used to do it. I used to, when something new came out, I bought it. Something new came out, I bought it. Now, 20 products come out a week new. You just can't keep up. You know, you can't buy everything.
No, but you can recognize. I think you can recognize products that you know, that are what you want. I mean, there's still things that I want that are 4 years old. Like James, I know he still wants stuff that's 20 years old. But
it's great. There's so much choice. It is great, and roughly speaking, everything is all, you know, half decent. There's very rarely do I do a review now when I say this is pure shit. You know, it's
exactly. Well, I think Mr. Mark Todd said it best when he said it's degrees of differences. It's so much smaller now. It's what's perfect and what's not quite. That's, you know, you can buy something now, and the chance of the coil leaking or it dry hitting are pretty slim. That we're
unless I'm building it.
yeah.
So good times. Check Paul's channel out. He reviews. The reason we talk so much is because we review the same stuff, really. So if you need a second opinion,
you get a lot better stuff than me.
We get a lot of the same stuff though, and so check Paul's channel out. Great.
I think we started talking because I was asking you for advice. I think I was throwing myself at the mercy of the master. I was like, can you give me some tips? And you were nice enough to take the time out and give me them. So good on you. Thanks for that.
No worries. I should probably point out at this point that Paul has more subscribers than me.
Oh my god!
Just
look at that. Shame. But because Richard's toxic, he has a beautiful cock. Richard,
yes, but what have you got? What can you do? What can you
do, man? Nothing. Have you got troll of the week before I sweat to death in this sauna?
Yes, let's do some very swift trolls of the week. Sent to me
of the week.
We got a brilliant one earlier in the week, but we decided political correctness and that, and especially with the vibes within the group, we thought it might not be best taste to do that one. No,
I think in hindsight, with Paul on the show, I'm very glad we didn't choose that one.
Yeah, I think it's a great choice to not have done that, and now I can't find them. Oh, right. I'll have to screen. I'll tell you what. Oh, I know why. Oh, I know. Do I know why? Yeah, found them. Here we go. So, troll of the week.
The fact you're younger than me, but you've got more grey hairs than me, by the way, Richard.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, God, that should not come as a surprise to anyone. Okay, recommended by James. The ultimate troll, in a way. This is the 2018 Uber troll. I can't believe we haven't featured it already, but the flat Earth theorists.
I did.
And these are some people. Mickey taking at the flat Earth thing. The Flat Earth Society tweeted themselves. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe. Physicsastronomy.com said, say that again, but slowly.
I've seen that a lot, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
Another one. Crazy how nature does that. A map of our solar system there. I think because that, joking aside, I think that is the main unequivocal bit of evidence that you can strike against the flat Earth theory.
But it's not
everything that we look out to is round. So why the fuck would we not be?
But it's not even, you know, the flat Earth theory. Fuck me, I'm going to be really boring now. No one has ever thought it. You know, when people say, "Oh, people used to think the Earth was flat," they didn't. That's not true. They didn't. They could see the sun was fucking round. They could see the moon was fucking round. So they assumed what they were standing on was fucking round. Nobody's ever thought it was fucking flat. It's bollocks.
Until the last few years.
Yeah, until the world of knobheads.
Shower thoughts tweeted, if the Earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off it by now.
Agreed.
If you've got a cat, you definitely can relate to that.
Fucking love it.
Oh, which one was that? Oh, here we go. And last but not least, beautiful lunar eclipse from our flat Earth.
I really didn't like that. Have I done this on the show before?
Do you know what though? I will say this about it. I think they actually, I don't know how you guys feel about whether the world is round or flat, but I actually think the shoe is on the other foot. And I think the flat Earth theorists are the trolls. I genuinely don't believe that they believe that.
I don't believe
they love that they're swimming so far upstream, and they love
Have you read the oldest troll thing with a physicist who's talking about the Earth and how old it is? Have you heard this joke, this thing? I don't know if it's true, but he was walking out. He was talking about the age of the Earth and where it sits in the universe. And as he walked out, an old lady stopped him and she said, "I believe that the Earth is on top of a turtle, as in that picture." And he said, "Yeah, but what's the turtle on top of?" And she said, "Another turtle." And he said, "And what's that turtle on top of?" She said, "Another turtle." And he said, "And what's that turtle on top of?" And she said, "I'll stop me there. It's turtles all the way down." That's awesome. I don't really give a shit if it's true. It's funny.
It's great. But yeah, I genuinely think that is the uber troll of right now, the whole flat Earth thing. But I genuinely think that people that are pretending they believe the world is flat, the Earth is flat, I think they're the ones trolling, not the people that are actually bothering to get involved.
Who sat on top of a rocket to prove the Earth was flat a little while ago, and it didn't go very well.
Well, I know, but they're all doctored, those images of the Earth from space.
Yeah, probably.
Right. So on that bombshell,
I think 2 hours and 23 minutes.
This has been the Ideal Home Show, Sweatbox edition.
It really has. It's fucking boiling. Thank
you so much to Paul for joining in. Check out his Facebook group, Vape Don't Smoke. Great group, massive group, and really nice people in there. I'm regularly in there as well. I like it. And check out his YouTube channel. Like I say, we review a lot of the same stuff, so it's really good to get more than one opinion. So check him out. Hopefully, definitely, Rick will be back next week. God knows what excuse Brad will make next week.
We've got John Lennon on next week.
Ringo's popping in next week. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next Thursday.
This has been the Ideal Show. Bye.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Bye.
Arrivederci.